Good morning. I was just watching Mama Magpie out the back door with her baby, and baby's crying because she wants something to eat, but they'll just have to wait. Um, I just want to remind you that we're getting towards the last few days of the end of February. So if you want to order something and get some free supplies as well, and I'm going to be in competition with the Magpie in a minute, now's the time to do it because you can get $100 for every $100 you spend, you get something free. So today I'm going on with Terrific Toadstools, and I want to show you these. These are the ones I did last week, if you remember. And remember, we did the belly band one, and I'll pop it up that there. And then it had the little band around it to hold it all together. That was the one. And then we did this one, which was a pull-out one. Pull-out flap float that popped out like that. It goes back in, pop out. Which I thought was very, very cute. So now this week I'm going to do two very different things. One of them I'm going to use the DSP, and the other one is just using the stamp set. So you remember the stamp set? They come, if you buy the stamp set, you get the stamp set plus the punch. And that will still be available until June on our catalogue. Sorry, I'm feeling a bit weary this morning, so I'm struggling. But today we're going to do this card here. Okay, I like the look of this card, and I'd seen a few people had put them up on Pinterest, but they were all Instagram. So I did a little bit of searching around, and I found that Patty Bennett, yes, Patty Bennett from the US, had given some instructions on how to make this. So my instructions are sort of a mixture of centimeters and inches like hers. So what we've got is a full piece of, or almost a full piece of melon mambo, and I've scored it, and we've got a card that sits up. Okay, so when it's displayed, it looks like that. Okay, so that it sits like that. It doesn't want to sit on that, but there we go. So it looks like that when it's sitting up and on the back. So I'm going to make this card very quickly with you. I've done my scoring, and it's very important when you do your scoring that you use your bone folder, this here, to actually make sure that you get nice crisp folds. So you can see that I'm making sure. So that's one, and then I'm going to do this one. Okay, so you end up with a mountain, a valley, and a mountain. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. Okay, now I scored it. The card itself is about 4.25 inches. I did 10.5 centimeters by 11 inches length. And I scored it 2.25, 4.25, and 7.75. So that's 2.25, 4.25, and 7.75. So you've got this. Okay, now to put it together very quickly. Okay, right, so I'm going to do these bits first. You can see that we've got two squares. Okay, so I might just put the DSP, and I'm hoping I still have it. Oh, there it is, it's hiding. I'm going to put the DSP on the Melon Mambo squares, which are, what were they? 7.5 centimeter squares, probably around 2 inches or close to it. And let's do that first before we do anything else. Oops, glue now on my finger. I'm really having problems this morning with this. Okay, that in the middle of that. Set it aside, and I'll do the other one. It really likes to work on the silicone mat, so that's what I need to do. I think because it just gives it that little bit of grip. Okay, so that's the two squares that I've got. Now let's decorate this. So we've got some glue in my finger. We've got, this is our DSP that's free. Got this bit, it's going to go there. This bit's going to go there. This bit's going to go there, and this bit's going to go there. So I'm going to put these three on first and leave that one for a moment, okay? So let's put this one on. And probably could have done being a little. Do you know what? I've just put it on upside down. Huff on it. There we go. Try again. There we go. That's better. That's the right way up this time. Doesn't matter with this bit whether I put it on upside down, because we're using this side. That's going on next. So those two are on. And then I've got this one, and I'm using the striped side of this. Yeah, this side's really pretty too. Actually, you could use that at Christmas time as well, those colours. No, Christmas isn't just red and green. So that's that. Now, before I put this one on, I'm going to stamp it for you. So what I've got is, I've got two stamps here. These little mushrooms and their stalk. Okay, so let's get these onto our block. That one can go on there, that one can go on there. And I've got some melon mambo. I'm going to do the mushrooms first. Let's get that done. Pop them on the side. I'll clean that off because I want to put that away in the box. Out of the way. Okay, and the stems are going to be Granny Apple Green, which is really bright, but hey, you know, I could do them, I guess I could do them crumb cake or something, but I just thought this was quite cute. Just adds a little bit of whimsy to this card. Pop that on. And that is that one done. So that's literally all I'm doing in the back. And you can write on this piece. That's why I've left it the way I have. And I'll pop that back in. Close my Granny Apple Green. Turn this over. And I'm going to put it on the back of the card itself. So that when the card sits up, this is the back, this is in the middle, and this is in the front. Right, now to put my squares on. So got one's going there and one's going there. So let's get those. So what I don't want to put glue on all of it. I only want to put it across one half of it, of the die, like this. Okay, done. Now to put it on the card. Do that one first. That's it. There we go. Now to do the other one. And again, only on half of the square, but at a diagonal. And I'm going to put it on the front. And it goes like that. So that's the base of the card made. Now, let's make the circle. So I've got a 6 centimeter punch here, which is, I think, 2 3/8 inches. And I'm going to punch two circles out. One, do another one here, two. Okay, set that aside. Okay, now got a little bit of gold there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get hopping up to say hi, and that's going to go on this one. So again, I'm going to get my melon mambo, and I'll just get a piece of paper. Going to advertise there maybe, but that's okay. Do the other side. Because I'll need that for doing my stamping off in a minute. Okay, so let's just move the card out of the way. And yeah, I've done it again, haven't I? Got ink on my finger. I really want to try and keep that off my finger so it doesn't get everywhere. Okay, popping up. It's going to go in the middle. A nice red fingernail without having to put nail polish on. Okay, let me wipe that off. Okay, I'll just set it on the, now I'm going to get the leaves, these ones here, and I'll pull this out as well because I'm going to use that as well. And what I'm going to do with this one is, this is what I'm going to stamp off. So got my leaf, I stamp it off, and I put it on there. Like, quite all go on. It's pretty good, but not quite. It's a little bit off. Let's do it on the other side. Good job, there's two things, isn't there? That one on there. Still a bit dark. I am going to start with another piece of, not circle. Just try again. I'll do my popping up first. Where did I put it? There it is. See, I'm doing really well today. Popping up in the middle. Okay, happy with that one. Now to get this, stamp it off and stamp on the card. Much, much better. Stamp it off again. Stamp. Take the excess ink off. Put it on the bottom. That's exactly what I wanted to do last time, isn't it? Right. So this is basically done except for the dimensional, the gems on it. So this one's going to go on the back here in the middle. So I'm going to get some dimensionals, and I have them here somewhere. Let me see if I can find them. I had them earlier, and here they are. Okay, now I'm getting close to using all of these up, but that's okay. We'll use the edge as well today. Probably shows I've been making a lot of cards. So I've got 5 in that. And I'll pull the backs off. And there we go. And I'm going to put that one on here. For a tiny little bit. That's better. Okay, now I'm going to punch out another circle. This time, it's good to have some extra card here. And this is for the front. Okay, now, my circle punch over there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the grass that I have here. Let's clean off this. Put it back in there and put our grass on. And I need my granny green. Okay. Now, this is, I'm going to stamp this off as well. So, because otherwise it ends up being too strong. You can see it's quite a strong. I'm going to move it up a little bit. That's better. Now, just take that excess green off. You can see how strong it is. And then I'm going to put this on the bottom. Like that. And you can see I've got a little white bit. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of the ink that I didn't use, because you may have noticed that I didn't go right to the edge. So I'm going to add the rest of that ink there on the bottom. So it just looks a little darker down there. Can you see that? And I'll come around here. Got a little bit on my stump, so put a little bit there. And I've got a little bit of green elsewhere as well, where I shouldn't have, but that's okay. We'll get there. Right, now to make the mushrooms. Okay, let's go. I think, here we go. So you can see that I've got crumb cake. So I'm going to do those first. I'm going to do 2 stems. And I've just got a narrow piece because otherwise you end up punching out too much. And I shall make this one a little shorter. So you can see I haven't, if you look carefully, I haven't made it go up the, I will make it go up the whole way, like that. And then I'll just cut a little bit over it. Okay. So get that left aside. So I've got 2 of these. Now to punch out my mushrooms. Which one do I need? I need this one. Just one of these. That one. And the other one I'm going to stamp with this one. Okay. So let's turn this over. Let me get my Millen number again. Quickly. Stamp, stamp, stamp. Stamp off. And pop it on there. Perfect. Okay. Now, the other one, let me clean that off. Too many to clean off here. I'll pop that back in there and just make sure the glove is clean. And then I'm going to get my other mushroom, which is over here, and I'm going to stamp this one. You can see the shape of it. So let's pop that. Move that over there. And I'll get my melon marker again. And it's going to be full strength, this one. There we go. Just turn this over. You can see that the punch is a little bit smaller than the stump, which is great because then it covers it up really well. There you go. All right. So I've got that one. And I have this one, which I'm going to cut out. And we can put the whole card together. Okay, so let me cut this out. We don't have a punch for this one, but it's very easy to cut out because it's just a few curves, but mainly no really sharp corners, which is sometimes the tricky bit. Just around. I'm not leaving any white on it, but I could. As you can see, you wouldn't notice it. Like if I, for example, left that, you would hardly notice that it was there, but I am going to cut that off. Let's take that off. So if you left a little border around it, it would be okay. Right, so this is going to go on here. I might swap them around on this card. I might put, well, no, I'll just leave them where they were because I think I can fix that little green dot in a minute. Okay, so this is going to go flat on the card. I just want it to go about there. And I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to take just a little bit off the bottom, I think, and curve it. And it's going to go underneath it like that. So just pull that up a little bit for a moment and put some glue on this on the back. Right. And I'm going to tuck it in so it's like that. Now, I do need to do the big mushroom. So let's get this scrap card Oh no, I've got it. I've got it done. See my brain today? Right, let's do the dimensionals on it. I'm thinking ahead. Dimensionals are here. One there. One there. And down there. So we'll cut out of the edge. Okay. Now I'm going to put that so it's up here, but it's slightly covering the other one. And then I've got my stem, and I'm going to put, I think I want it to go this way. I'm hoping I'll move that over down a little bit. So it's like that. I can put that so that it covers that with green bit. Okay, here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a dimensional for the bottom. Put it on so that the sides are parallel with the, let's use my pick, parallel with the edges of the stem. Bit of that. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the top because I want the top to stick to the actual toadstool. Okay, like that. Okay, now to decorate it, we've got some of these here. These are free at the moment with celebration. Purple adhesive black sequins. So let's get a few of these on this. Maybe I'll put that on the card first. Okay, so I've got a bit of glue on the back. And let's put that on here. There we go. And let's get the sequins. So I might put a large one here, a smaller one, which is sort of a purpley color, but it really suits this. And I might do a large sort of clearish one up here. Okay, now let's put some on the back as well. Got a little bit of extra glue there on that. That's okay. Right, let's do the other bit. I'm going to put a small one, and I'm going to put a pink one beside it, and I might put one of these on here. Okay, so this is our card. We got some gems, and the one other thing I did with the other one was I added a little bit of Winko Stella to this mushroom. Now I'm making sure I don't take the Winko Stella over the white, but the white background, because it will transfer some of the melon mambo to it, and I don't want to do that. I want those to stay perfectly white. Okay, I'm going to go around the bottom and just do little red veins as well. This one probably takes a little bit more time than the other one, but here you go. And I'll put a little bit on this one too, and then I'll hold it up so you can actually see how it sparkles. So if I can hold it up, you can probably, let's hold it up so that, let's get that right. You can probably see the sparkle. Depends where the light hits it. See, it's a little bit sparkly. So that's the first card today. Now to get onto the second one. Second one is completely different. It's what I suppose some people would call a minimalist card. It's this one. Okay, just leave that to the side for the moment. And basically I've used Very Vanilla and a couple of shade, well, actually just crumb cake. Okay, I think I might have done this in basic beige, but I'm going to use stamped off crumb cake for that. So the first thing I've got to do is to get my card base, so all my stuff in here. I'm going to quickly make it up. Okay, so let's use the bond folder to put a good crease there. I've got to leave that to the side because I don't need that at the moment. Okay. And I'm going to get rid of these two really bright colors. Okay, so we've got, for the front of the card, we've got, oh, I've got two pieces. Isn't that amazing? There you go. I think one might be the X. I think this is the right one for it. I think that's the bit I cut off. Yeah. So what's happening is that I'll put this together first, those layers. I'm not going to put the vanilla on yet. Okay, those two layers are on. That's that part. Okay, now I'm going to get my scissors and I'm going to rough up the edges of the vanilla. This is getting in my way, but it is good for recognizing that these are my scissors. Let's use the other end. That would be even wiser, wouldn't it? So I'm going to rough up the edge right across so that it's sort of distressed, because I think it suits this all the way around. You can see how it sort of breaks the card. If you use thick vanilla, it ends up even roughing better, but this is just the normal vanilla. If you've got any thick vanilla, you could use that, but this works just as well. See? And I want to just do a little bit more there so that it works in that corner. And let's do this one. Go up to the corner first, and then I'll go down this side. Get in there. Okay, now I could put a little bit of ink along the edge of that, but I'm not going to. Okay, so let's just set the mat off. Okay, now I'm going to make the front. So I've got to do some stamping out again. Okay, I'm going to stamp out that little bit of line that I had. Here it is. I'm going to stamp out two, actually I'll not use that bit. I'll use this bit because I don't want to cut out the toadstools as well. I'm going to pinch one out and a second one. There we go. So I've got those two. And then I'm going to get my very vanilla. And I'm going to stamp the other one on it. So let's clean this one off and pop that back and get this stamp. You can see it's got like a ruffle around it. Okay, and I'll get my crumb cake because it says it's basic beige and crumb cake, and you could use that. Maybe I should use that just so you can see how it and I'll stamp it on the piece of paper first so that you can I might actually stamp both of them just so that you can actually see how they differ. Okay, so this is with the basic beige. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to do that in crumb cake. Okay, let's take that off. It's the other stamp I want. Oh, gosh, I'm really good this morning, aren't I? Let's take that one off and put this one on. Okay, just make sure it's clean. Because that, okay. Now if I just do that and put it on there, can you see it's quite pale? I just want to make sure it's completely covered. It looks pretty good. And I'm going to stamp it on a piece of cardstock. And if this doesn't work, I can redo it again. Okay, now, is that light enough? I'm not happy that that's light enough. So I'm going to use the crumb cake, but that's the difference between crumb cake and the basic beige. You can see this is more of a, got a pinky tinge to it. So let's do the crumb cake now. Just so you can see that they are slightly different. You can see there's pink undertones, but that could be because my stamp is still got a little bit pink on it. Let's turn this over. Even though I did wash this mat. Crumb cake. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it off first on the paper. That didn't work very well because I didn't get it all off because there's the gems were underneath it. Let's move those out of the way and try this again. So I'll stamp that off, and then I'm going to put that on there. Can you see the difference in the two? This one's got more browny tones, which is what I want on this. Okay, so I've got my stems. Now I need to stamp another one. Where are you, little man? There you are. I'm going to stamp this one as well, and I'm going to stamp it off. Like, actually, I might not stamp it off. I might just put it on full, like that. Yep. And then I will do the other one as well, but I'm going to punch it out first. Let's get that on that. And I will punch it out. So I only really want this one here. Everything flies. Okay, here we go. Don't need that there. So I've got those two, and I'm going to do this one. So let's get that other stamp, and I will make sure that it's really clean before I use it, because anything will really show through. Okay, and it's going to be full strength, so that will help a bit too. Just check that I've got this the right way around. Push it up a little bit. And I'm happy that that's covered. And pop it in the middle. Now it's going to be stuck to the stamp at the moment, so I just use my pick to pull it off and set that over there. Okay, so I've got my 3 mushrooms that I want, and I need one more thing I need to do is to stamp the stem. And I've got the stem here. And just make sure that that's covered, and I shall do that on this here. Okay, I want a nice strong stem. Excellent. Done. Right. Let's do some cutting. Okay, so I've got that one. Got my two of my stems. Let's do the other stem. Here we go. Yesterday we had a lovely day, but today is really overcast and grey. That's okay. We do need the rain as well. And you can see I've done this in crumb cake because the back of it is in crumb cake. So I really want that if there's any crumb cake, it blends in not white. So just a crumb cake scrap. And that's that one. That goes to the one behind. Okay, now to cut these two out. Do this one first. I've done this one before, so. But yeah, this one I think is too pinky. You can see that it's just not quite in the tones I want today. And isn't it funny how maybe if I stamped it on white cardstock, it wouldn't have that pinky tinge. Maybe it's the vanilla that brings the pinky tinge out. I don't know. Interesting to see if that's the case. Off. and take this little end off. Okay, just one more mushroom, and then our toadstool, depending on where you come from. Toadstools, I think, are more whimsical, where the fairies live. I remember I used to have a student, and she loved fairies when she was growing up. She's now 20, I think. But I used to keep pansies at the front, and she used to look for the fairies after her lesson underneath the pansies, and she was crazy about them. So there's my 3, and I've got my 2 bags, so let's get that and that. And I'm going to take a tiny little bit off one of these. Okay. Right, now I'm going to stick this one on first because it's going flat on the card as if it had been stamped. Now that's the other thing you could do, is you could just stamp it straight on the card, but I just want to get a little bit of a 3D look. So that's going to go, put that there. And then I'm going to do the stem, and again I'm going to make it flat on the card. Okay, that's the back one. You can see how much stronger that is. Let me get my pick, because I'm not really happy where I've ended up with that. Just pull that up a little bit and just move it over. That's better. Okay, now these 2 are going to go on dimensionals. So I'll do that first. Here we go. And I'm down to cutting the edges. So I've got 2 left. It should be enough to do this. Okay. Leave those ones for a minute. Yeah, that one doesn't want to divide from the other one. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to put that on the stem. So it's thin enough to go on there. I'll leave that. The other one's going to be on flat, and then I'll get some to put on the back of this. So I think a couple is all I need on that, and 1 on this, because these are a wee bit bigger than the hexagonals. Right, now to put it together. Okay, so we're going to put that there, and I'm going to get some glue on the back of this. I love my silicone mat. It's just, you don't get glue everywhere. And I'm going to put that like that. Okay, now I'm going to put the other one on. And again, you could use a bit of ink of Stella on this, but I haven't. I'm going to put it on like that. And this one I've put on dimensional already. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the top and add that to the card. Okay, now I think I want to rough up that edge just a little bit more down here. So it really looks like it's distressed. And you can do this afterwards as well, but that looks much, much better. I think I might be going to use the other side, but that's okay. So let's turn it over and put some glue on it. And that's going to go straight on this square. And that's the top part of our card done, except for some dimensionals on the back. And I have some, these have been left over, they're called blooming pearls. And I think they're well and truly retired, but I wanted to use this because it had these tiny gold ones in it. You can see it's got gold, pretty peacock, garden green, and that's garden green, pretty peacock, and what's the other one? Petal pink. So all still current colors. So, but I'm going to just use a tiny gold pearl up there at the top. Let's pop that over there, out of the way. Turn this over. I'm going to put this on dimensionals. So let's get one there. Doesn't want to come off the one here. That one down there. I'm going to have to cut just a few more. One more cut. Let's cut. I'll pop that one there. And I think I can just get away with 5 on this. Let's take the backs off. Get my hard base. And I'll pop this up the top. And that's that part done. Now I've just got this here. And I've already done this, if I can find it, on my table. Already stamped it and everything. So it's hiding at the moment. Let me see if I can find it. Move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. I know I had it in the card. So let's move those for a moment. Let's see underneath here. Oh gosh, it's gone missing. You know what I might do? I might get my husband to bring me some Versamark and gold, and then I'll get him to go. And he can also bring me the tongs as well. And I'm going to stamp this. I don't have any dark brown that's on my table, the earlier espresso. You can bring a piece of that as well. I know I had it done, but it's just decided to wander. Okay, Versamark, and I need the gold embossing powder, and then I'm going to send you to heat it and see how it goes with that. That will be interesting, won't it? While I do this, because I don't want to go and get my so I've got here just a little thank you. And did you get me the darker color, this dark brown as well? There's some on the table, okay, in my craft room. So let's do this. See, everything doesn't go to plan, as we've discovered this morning, because we had some technical issues earlier on. Okay, so I've got this little bit of cardstock here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp just a little thank you on one end of it in Versamark. That's good, I think. I close up my Versamark. I've got my gold embossing powder here, and then I'm going to send him off to heat it. So I'll just put it in like that. I'm going to do it a couple of times now, because I didn't use the little thing on this. Okay, my hand. Can I tell you what to do? See, you can learn. Can you hold it that end and heat it until it turns gold and bring it back to me? Okay. Now I have some thread here. I think this probably was Stampin' Up! Thread, but if you're an embroiderer, I've got like gold embroidery thread. You could use that as well. I want it finer than the one that we have at the moment, so I'm going to use some of this up. So I've got 3 fingers. I'm just going to keep wrapping this around my fingers until I've got quite a bit of it. Okay, so that's done. Take it off my fingers and I'm going to twist it like so. And I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of glue on the bottom of my card. And I'm going to stick this. So much for twisting. Let's try that again. It's almost there. And stick it on the card. It doesn't matter that I've got those little circles in it, because that just gives it a little bit of character. You can see what I've done. Okay, so I've made almost like a little bow. Excellent. Look at that. You could give it even a little bit more so that it's really sparkly. Just a second more and it'll be perfect. It'll even get brighter. Okay, and if it doesn't matter. Because it just twinkles a little bit more. Okay, and then the card is finished. There we go. We'll pull it down. This is the finished one. So I've used Espresso here with the Versamark and the gold embossing powder. I keep my gold embossing powder in these containers because I find this is great for, and I've got a piece of cardstock in there that I use to usually put on it. But for this one, I could just tip it in. That'll be perfect, darling. Thank you. Thank you. That's better. Yeah. So we've got to cut this to fit the card. And I want it just a teeny bit thinner than that. So I'll just take a little bit off each edge, trying to make it straight if I can. And I'll just a tiny bit more off the edge there. Okay, so that's going to go on top. And let's get that and that. And you can see it's just not quite as bright as this, but that's probably my fault too, because I just need to add a little bit more gold to it. And of course, when I'm finished, you know what's going to happen. I'm going to find the other one, which I can then put on. I want that more in the middle. And that's the card finished. Okay, so it just says just a little thank you. So it's not quite as bright as this one. You can see that this one sparkles a little bit more, but that's okay. We can handle that. Let me take these bits of paper off this so I can put one cleaner in there rather than on the table. So I've got this card. Let's clean up a little bit and move these all. Okay, this card, and then this other one that I did today, which is it's called a double flat card, and Patty Bennett had the instructions for this. Yeah, lovely card. So one they set up, and I liked it because, because it's popping up to say hi. So I like what it does. So, and then it fits flat to go in an envelope. So there we go. I'll move this one down so you can see. And hopefully this recording will work. All right, I will see you next time. And we'll be into March next time. And maybe we can go back to me full screen. If it works. I think it's just one of those days. So we will, but you can see me down in the corner. I will be back next week and we'll be into March. So remember, if you want this DSP, you need to order something this week to get it free. So would you like my red fingernail? There you go. And I hope we can join it. Okay, so enjoy your week, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.